Modern comic variant covers are trash. Yes, you heard me right. They are trash. And before you start typing away and calling me all sorts of mean things, listen to what I'm talking about. They are trash in terms of investing. I am the comic book investments channel. So this is what I'm talking about. I am not talking about whether you like them or don't like them, if they're good, or bad art, whatever it is, that's not what I'm talking. I'm not even talking about collectability. I personally like variant covers from time to time. I got this cover. Why? Because I liked it. That's why I bought it. But in terms of investment, they are trash. And when I mean trash, I mean 99% plus. More than 99% of them will never be worth anything. So let me paint you a picture. Let me see if this sounds right. A new book is about to release, and they're going to release, 10,000 variants like they normally do of a particular book. Like there are so many. And then all of a sudden you're going, wow, this book is really cool and really hot right now. Everyone's telling me to get it. So, you jump in. And before you know it's a $10 variant. Next thing you know, it's up to $300. Well, I got to get it. And so then you buy it. Or then you wait for someone to CGC it. And then you're like, I got to get that 9.8. And then you jump in, you get that 9.8. Now it's up to like $1,000. And then before you know it, that $1,000 book that you bought 6 months later, it's worth like half that or less than half that. And you can't even sell it even if you wanted to, even at half the price. No one's buying these anymore. Does that sound familiar? Well, that's the case with pretty much every single variant. They're hot here today, gone tomorrow. And this is on the tails of a very hot topic right now with the Ultimate Fallout 4 acetate cover that was at the Chicago Con and everyone's up in arms about. Yes, that book will be worthless in the future. And I'll tell you why at the end of this video, why I don't think it'll be worth anything. And I'm sure a lot of you will tell me the reasons why I'll be worth something, but it won't. So let's talk about variant covers. These days, they make so many. And of random books. It doesn't even have to be a #1 or a special first appearance or anything like that. It could just be a random book. Aquaman 25. It's like, well, we got to have 2 variants of that. Why? Just because. So there's variants of everything. So let's go through a few examples of what I'm talking about. Some books that are really hot, and then all of a sudden they faded away. Okay, first we got up is this Ice Cream Man Quarantine Comic Special. Now I know that half of the proceeds of this went to help a different charity, but nonetheless, this was a very hot book, and that only helped when you first bought it for whatever the normal price was. A 9.8 at its peak. So that means after someone already bought it, gave 50% of the proceeds to the local comic shop, which gave it to the charity, and then grabbed it, submitted it, got a 9.8 back, which is a couple months later, it peaked at $440. It currently sits less than a year later selling for $56. That is down 87%. Yes, that book dropped a ton. And this is just one example. I got more. Amazing Spider-Man 700. Do you think this would be an amazing investment deal, right? I mean, they had like 1,000 different variants, and this is the best one. This is the 1 in 200 variant. The Ditko cover that was originally done, but then they decided to have Jack Kirby do it instead. So it's like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And if you look at the graph up there, you can see when it first came out, it spiked really high, spiking in 2013 to 9.8, selling for $2,550. And then it kind of dropped off and then started going back up again, dropped off again. Now it currently sells for $950. That's down 63% in nearly 10 years. In 10 years, if you bought it right out of the gate because you're all about that hype, guess what happens? Oh, you spent $2,500. Now it's worth $950. And that's what happens with a lot of these variants. It's just always the same. As soon as they come out of the gate, sky high, and then drop way off. Always like that. So next here, a lot of people will say, oh, well, it's more about, how rare it is. Like, obviously, you want a print run, right? The lower the print run. That's what a lot of people say. Go after low print runs, just like this Ultimate Fallout 4. We only have 750 made. That's so little. You want to go out those low print runs because if there's only 750, that's it. That's all there is. And there's definitely way more than 750 people that want this comic, right? Well, print runs don't mean everything. They don't. Let's look at this example. First, we got Moon Knight number 200. This is the Bill Sienkiewicz sketched remastered 1 in 1,000 variant. A 9.8 out of the gate was selling for $530. Now that currently sells for $350. That is down 34%. There's less than 100 known copies of this ever made. On the census, at a 9.8, there's only 56. So as you can see, this is pretty rare. There's less than 100 copies ever made of this, and there's only 56 at a 9.8. And this is a Moon Knight variant. Now, like I said, print runs isn't everything. Here's a book that is same character, same artist, and is way less rare. This one has less than 500 copies compared to the less than 100 copies, and this is vastly more expensive. All right, we got Moon Knight #1 from 2014. This is the Bill Sienkiewicz 1 in 75 variant. A 9.8 out of the gate was selling for $190. It now currently sold for $3,000, up 1,479%. There's less than 500 copies exist, and on the census, there's 53 at a 9.8. So about the same at a 9.8, but actually for the sketch remastered, there's only 70 copies total that have been graded. Unlike the other 1 in 75 variant, there's actually about 140 copies graded in total. So even though the remastered is much more rare, a way lower print run, it goes for about 1/10 of the price of the other one, which is more common, which has a higher print run. So this book is a variant cover and it went up. So that's interesting. Well, how do you know which one goes up and which one goes down? Well, here's the key. Most will go down. Sorry to say, most will. Let's take SpiderMan 800 as an example. Now, I had many, many variants. It also was the first appearance of a key character, and it was touted as this huge, huge book going forward. And so let's see which ones actually, when they came out in 2018, so about 4 years ago, which ones actually have gone up and which ones have gone down. All right. Looking at the covers, we have here the best cover to get would be the remastered sketch variant. That is down 89% from when it first popped out from CGC, selling for almost $3,000. Now selling for roughly around $350. Then we have the remastered variant, but that's colored in. That's down 57% from its initial coming out. And then, of course, we have the John Romita variant cover. That's up 8%. And then we have the Ron Friends. That's up 15%. But again, these ones that are up, a lot of these variants are like $50, $40. So they're almost like case costs. So it's not like, it's like, oh, up 15%, went from 1,000 to 1,150, Next we got here is Rivera variant, down 33%. We have the Del Auto variant. Now the difference, why does this say down 63% plus 2%? Well, there's like different covers and different like levels of version. It's like the complete version and then all sorts of stuff. So the worst one is down 63%, but the best one is only up 2%, and then everything in between. So most of them are down. Next, we got the Mobius variant. That is up 150%. Then we got the Land variant, up 8%. Then we got Dodson, down 33%. The Frank Cho, down 33%. Mark Bagley, down 56%. Then we got the Ramos, down 13%. Then we got Bradshaw, down 43%. And then we got Cassaday, down 37%. So as you can see, Spider-Man, which is a huge, huge, huge character, and lots of people want him, so you'd think his variants would go up out of any other variants, like say like a random Aquaman book or something like that. Most of them went down, especially the higher tier ones, like the remastered sketch variant, which is the hardest one to get. That one went down by almost 90%. So next, let's look at the top variants of 2021. So last year. So some of these books are going to be a little over a year old, almost a year old. And these are the top ones. And I'm not talking about the bottom of the barrel ones. These are the top variants of that year. And let's see how well these did. Let's see if they've gained it all or if they went down. All right, well, you got the Sonic 30th anniversary, 1 in 25. That's down 36%. We got Defenders 1, the 1 in 50, Momoko. That's down 10%. Then we got Miles Morales Annual #1, a 1 in 25. That's down %. We got Black Adam Endless Winter Special. That is down 86%. Then we got Excalibur 18, the 1 in 25. That is actually up 27%. Taskmaster #3, 1 in 25, up 3%. Joker 2, a 1 in 50, down 71%. Son of Kal-El #1, which is the third printing version, that is a 1 in 50. That is up 24%. King Spawn, number 1, the 1 in 250, down 52%. And Wonder Woman, Black and Gold, number 5, a 1 in 25, that is down 40%. So let's take a look at that King Spawn number 1. And let's dive a little more into the numbers to see what happened, because that was a big book during its time. Okay, King Spawn number 1. If you look at that graph, you can see it kind of slowly going down. You see 2 purple jump ups. Those are because Todd McFarlane signed a few copies in like blue or green ink, so they're even more rare, and that's why they kind of spiked then. But just the average normal one, it had 1,697 copies made. A 9.8 out of the gate sold for $14.50. Now sells for $6.99. That is down 52%. And that is in about a year. If you bought it right in the beginning, $14.50, and that is not the top that it sold for, and it's gone down all the way down to $6.99 is what one recently sold for, dropping by a ton. Now on that list, you saw the Son of Kal-El. That was up, 24%. But that book had a ton of variants. So let's see every single variant and how they did, because the one I showed you was the best one out of all of them. What about all the others? So we got Son of Kal-El, number 1. The cover A, the normal one, down 72%. The Lee variant, down 60%. The Bryan variant, down 72%. The Bartel, down 52%. The Virgin is down 84%. The Canada exclusive A, down 54%. The Canada exclusive B didn't go down at all. The Canada exclusive C, down 33%. The Fan Expo A cover, down 92%. Fan Expo B cover, down 82%. So as you can see, in less than a year, if you bought any of these books as soon as they came out, you lost on every single one. The only one that went up was the third printing retailer incentive. That was the only one that went up because it's pretty rare to begin with. That's not to say that that third printing won't go down in like a year or two. I would probably guess that it will go down over time. So those were all the top 10 variants of 2021. 2020, 2019, all those other years, all the same. Most variants go down over time. There are some variants that do go up. And here's a list of just a few. They're not in any order. These are just some, and you can see how much they've gained over time. Oh, we got Supergirl 23. That is up 2,787% since it first came out. SpiderMan Presents Black Cat number 1. That is up almost 3,000%. Edge of the Spider-Verse 2. That is up almost 1,400%. Danger Girl 2. That is up almost 1,700%. Siege number 3. That is up 750%. X23 variant, that is up almost 5,000%. Here's the biggest one I've seen. Ultimate Fallout 4 variant cover is up almost 80,000%. Spider-Man 678 variant, up almost 600%. Batman 608 retailer incentive, that is up over 108%. And then Spider-Man 667 is up over 6,000%. And that is the most expensive one on here. I think the last one sold for $43,000 for that Spider-Man one. Now you're wondering, like, how come some are up like that Batman only up 100%, while other ones are up 80,000%, things like that. Well, that Batman was rare to begin with and very expensive right out of the gate. So they planned on that one being super expensive and super rare. So as soon as the first one came out, it was already selling for thousands of dollars. While something like the Ultimate Fallout 4 variant, I mean, that comic book wasn't never meant to be like super rare or super expensive to begin with. So the first one out of the gate, a 9.8 you could pick up when it first launched for $51. Yes, you heard me right. That variant cover sold when it first launched $51. And it stayed there, just jumping up a little bit here, maybe 100, maybe 200. And then just recently, it skyrocketed. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're seeing that 80,000% increase. And you're thinking, oh, that applies to the Ultimate Fallout 4 acetate cover that was sold by Black Flag. No, I'm sorry, it does not apply. So this is why I don't think that book is going to really be worth very much in the future, if that's what you're banking on. A lot of people say, okay, there's 750 copies made. Well, I've already shown you it doesn't matter how many made or not made. There's actually more copies of the Ultimate Fallout 4 variant version than there are of the Black Flag version. Now, if you look at the normal edition, you can see the Black Flag one recently sold a 9.8, $36. It costs more. to pretty much ship a comic there, get it graded by CGC, and get it shipped back than it does for $36. So that just shows that the market isn't there for this book. And I don't think it's going to be one of those books that's like, oh, it's going to be like Ultimate Fallout 4. Started at $51, now selling for nearly $40,000. No, I don't think it's going to be like that at all. Another reason is Marvel didn't even approve this book, and so they don't even consider it a variant. It's almost like if I just literally grabbed a comic book and slapped something on it and tried to say is a variant. And I showed you even with a SpiderMan 700, which was a huge book during its time. I mean, that one just pretty much just started going downhill altogether. I think what will happen with this book is the first one's out of the gate will go for a ton of money, and then they just go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's very common with most variants. Why? Is because the hype is so strong for some of these variants that people have to have them, and they have to buy them, and they want them now, and they're willing to pay a huge price. But here's the thing, they won't be worth very much in the future, and they're gonna go down over time. Like I said, most variants all go down. Think of all the random variants there are out there for every random book that's ever made. I'm just showing you like basically the top, and most of them all pretty much went down. I mean, even the variant book that I bought right here, this one went down. But why buy the variants? Well, if you like them, then buy them. Just like I bought that. I didn't buy that because, oh, this is going to be worth a ton in the future. I bought it because I wanted it. So that's the key. This is how you get ahead of the variant game. You have to curb your FOMO. So when a book's coming out and it's super hot, guess what? 3 to 6 months will be worth half that. So wait 3 to 6 months, and then you can get it at a discount. Because eventually it gets to this point where it just hits this valley, and it just kind of stays there. So your book's not really going down, it's not really going up, it just kind of hangs around for years and years and years. Maybe it sees a little increase, but if you get it one of the first people in the first couple months, it's going to be worth, half, maybe even 90% less than what you paid for. So that's the key. Make sure to wait. If the book you really want, just wait a couple months. Just wait a couple months and then buy it. Because if you really want it, then get it, right? It doesn't matter. I have things I paid way too much for because I wanted them. And I don't really like them, or I don't really use them. These variant covers are meant to hype people up, to get people excited. That's why they have so many different variants. Oh, I gotta collect this one, that one, gotta get them all. But in the end, if you're doing this to make money, you're not going to make money. The only people that really make money are the people that pretty much buy them for cover price or thereabouts, and are the first to get them CGC'd and the first to sell them. You basically have a few week window where people are gonna buy, and it's gonna go up just slightly or maybe stay the same, and then it's gonna drop off drastically. So make sure that if you're just trying to get as this an investment, wait many months, 3 to 6 months. You can get a half off of what they're going for, and then you'll have the book, and then you can keep it. Now, if you're thinking, hey, I want to get one of those variants that end up going up a ton, you don't know which ones they're going to be. This is my advice for that. Wait. See what happens. Wait 6 months. Did it start off really tall and then go way down to the bottom, and then this kind of floating around? Or maybe just like the Moon Knight, it starts off at $190, and then it's like 6 months later, a year later, it's double that price. Okay, it's $300. Okay, maybe there's something to this. Wait a little longer. Oh, it's up to like $500. Maybe then you can think, okay, this is a variant that people seem to really, really like. So maybe then jump in it. Yeah, okay, you didn't get it for $190. But you also didn't get it for $190 and it go down to $50. You got it for like $500, and maybe it goes up to $3,000. So it's better to wait and see which variant actually attaches to the most people, because you have no idea what everyone else out there is thinking. I'm Dave from Comic Book Investments. Have a great day.